What is up, everybody? I'm Josiah Leroy. We are here at Buffalo Comicon. I'm with my new friend, Robbie Palmer. Robbie, we met just a little bit ago. You had myself and Jeff Beta on your podcast. Why don't you share the name of your company as well as a little bit about what you guys do for the viewers at home?
All right, right on, man. The name of the company is Artful Gremlin Productions. We're basically a local podcasting group. We've got a couple of shows out right now. We've got the Nerdynomicon, which is what you were on. My hosts for that show are myself, my wife Brooke, and another co-host named Adrian. He's based out of Austin, Texas. The other show that we do is Couldn't Be Models, which I do with two of my childhood friends, Greg Hobart and Dickie Axtell. And we have a lot of fun with that show, too. Both comedy, both very explicit.
we loved it. Beta and I were on the podcast earlier, so we'll put a link in the description of this. We talked a lot about Star Wars, which, if you know me at all, that's my calling for the Geekiverse. If there was a moment, we like to ask anyone on the show, what was the thing that got you into geekdom? What was that thing that set you off and made you want to do this? If you could pinpoint one.
If I could pinpoint one, oh my God. I don't think I can pinpoint one, but I can give you two that spring to mind. The first is sitting down as a little kid, probably about 4 years old, playing the original Legend of Zelda with my dad on the original NES. And also involving my dad, he was a huge fan of Star Trek The Next Generation. So I think it was on Tuesday nights. Every Tuesday night he would sit down and watch it, and he'd have pretzels and imitation crab meat, and I would sit there not understanding at all what was going on and thinking that Worf's face was like that because he slammed his face in cake.
There you go.
That's what I remember about that, but that was probably my first step into geekdom.
That is fantastic. Grumpy Geek, our very own Grumpy Geek, he's the Star Trek guy around, so I'm sure you guys could shoot the breeze for a while.
I'm not that huge into Star Trek. I mean, I enjoy it. I'm more of a Star Wars guy, like what we were talking about. I mean, another memory from when I was really little, probably about 5 years old, I used to think that the movie was called The Return of Jedi. And I was really confused why Jedi didn't show up. I'm like, who's Jedi? I'm looking at the box. Is this Jedi? Is that Jedi? No, that's Jabba. Did they mess up on the cover art? They did not mess up on the cover art. It's Jedi.
That was the George Lucas special edition, The Return of Jedi. Well, we are very excited to have you here. What's been your favorite cosplay so far? There's been some awesome ones this weekend. We had there's Groot, obviously, which was fantastic. He stopped over. There's a really, really good Boba Fett. We saw that. Good Darth Vader earlier. I mean, take your pick, right?
Well, once you cut past I think I'm up to 36 Harley Quinns. Yesterday there was a Killing Joker. That was pretty cool. Very obscure show, and there's a comic that goes with it, but definitely freaked me out because yesterday's episode that we did of Nerdynomicon was about cosplay. I was kind of shaming my co-host on that show into cosplaying, and I got distracted by this creature from the Outlaw series on Amazon and on YouTube, and I thought that was really cool. But the most convincing one I've seen so far would probably have to be Boba Fett. I mean, that looked flat out Mandalorian.
It was really good, really dedicated. You and I would be, good judges of that, I think.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I did see a Will Smith-inspired Deadshot yesterday, and I even got him going triangle on me. I was like, okay, fair enough. He had the wrist gun, it retracted and everything. That was pretty cool.
That is awesome. I missed that one. Like I said, the Boba Fett one was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Rogue One is coming out in just a few short months. We talked about a few theories, actually, that you brought up. So we'll have to, post that link, like I said, to that podcast.
Right on.
But I'm really excited. The first Star Wars spinoff. What's going through your mind as a huge Star Wars fan for this?
What's going through my mind could be summed up as #yes. Okay. First things first, we're seeing an AT-AT walking for the first time since Empire. Okay, we've seen AT-STs, sure, but we're seeing an AT-AT walking and taking a rocket to the face, man. So on a beach. All right, there's nothing wrong with that at all. More of that, less of everything else, okay? I like how it's not going to end up being a Skywalker story, as we were calling it earlier. All right, the Star Wars universe has so many rich characters, so much rich backstory. It's going to be nice to take a step out and see the continuity from another set of eyes. Sure, it's still going to be from the rebellion and from a mercenary standpoint, but it's not going to follow that bloodline any longer. It's going to see it from a different perspective, and I'm really excited about that. And there's a lot of mystery that's being surrounded here too. So
absolutely, I've got a few thoughts on Jyn Erso. I've got a few thoughts on some of the newer characters that have been released. last question on Rogue One. Sure. Do you think Vader appears for more than a few minutes, and do you think some of those rumors where he is cutting up rebels are true? So some intense stuff out there in terms of what we might see for a rating for a Star Wars movie.
Ooh, that is a very good question, seeing as though, you could still get away with it. It is a PG-13, even though he's cutting up people. I think it's going to be PG-13. I think he's going to cut up a bunch of rebels, but I don't think it's going to be very long. I think we're talking less than 5 total minutes of Vader.
I think so, too.
Probably closer to 2 or 3,
I think just enough to whet the appetite again.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Where can we find any of the podcasts that you mentioned, and websites, social media? Give yourself a plug.
Where do you listen to podcasts? I mean, all of our shows, they're on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. You can find myself and the entire group on Artful Gremlins on Twitter, on Instagram. Couldn't Be Models has its own Facebook page, so facebook.com/Couldn't Be Models. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. We are there.
Fantastic. Well, Robbie, thank you so much for stopping by, my friend.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
It's been awesome. Check out their podcast. We were on it earlier. You'll see this video. Please give us a like. And from Buffalo Comicon, I'm Josiah. Thanks for watching. The Comicon.
Well, it's first of all, like I'm kind of I'm a newbie. I mean, not to use this term. I know they use it on radio a lot. Like all-time listener, first-time caller. Like normally I'm with everybody else at a convention. I'm going to booths. I'm seeing all the cool stuff that's out there. This time, this is my second year at the Buffalo Comicon, where I'm on the other side of the table, where I'm selling stuff, and that's a complete new experience for me because it's not being a fan. It's always what it's worth to me.